I want to thank each of you who have taken the time out of your Saturday morning to join us in our discussions today. Each of us are volunteer service. Each of us give freely and free of charge or credit our time and our resources to make our individual communities and indeed the world at large collectively a better place for millions of people. We feed the hungry, we educate and provide camps for diabetics. We provide supplies and toys for those with childhood cancer. We clean up our environment, and we provide vision to those who are not able to provide it for themselves. We volunteer to do all this because we care. We live in trying times now and are with the coronavirus plague upon us. We're exploring new ways to communicate and educate, but we're not sitting still. We're moving forward with astounding progress and success. Our members and officers rotate in and out of our clubs. Therefore, our leadership skills need to be replenished. And it's the job of your global leadership team at the district and multi-district levels to ensure that those who have volunteered to take on leadership roles have access to the tools they need to do their jobs. That's why we're providing this opportunity today. I want to take just a little introductory about what we're going to go into first, club presidents. I've already stated our organization can only be as good as its weakest link, as its weakest club. Our Lions clubs are our most essential level of our organization. Members join clubs. They don't join zones and they don't join districts. They join clubs. And membership is by invitation only. Club level is where service begins, and club level is where our next generation of leaders are found. Let me take a time now to introduce our panel this morning. I am your moderator, your council chair, Bubba Bingham from the Prattville Lions Club. We have with us also past council chair Linda Starr. She's a member of the Center Lions Club. She's been a Lion since 2010. Her accomplishments as a Lion include serving up through the ranks as club president, board of directors, Leo Club advisor. She's been a cabinet secretary, information technology chair. Linda served up through the ranks as district governor, multi-district council secretary. She's been the council chair, and she currently serves as the global leadership team coordinator for District A. Linda, let me ask you, what one piece of advice would you give to a club president?
I would tell a club president to be the example of what you expect from your members. Leaders need to show and not just tell. So that's what I would tell our president.
Very good. Thank you, Linda, for that. Our next panelist is a past district governor, Judy Pritchett. Judy is a member of the Oxford Lions Club, and she's been a Lion since 1999. She's held several club level offices, including club president. She has also held several district level offices, including a successful district governor. She is the current club treasurer of the Oxford Lions Club. Linda, let me ask you the same question, please. What one piece of advice would you offer to a club president?
To stay focused on your mission and to stay communicated with your members.
Staying focused on your mission and communicating are two very important things, particularly in the trying times that we're going through right now. And then finally, certainly but not least, our panelist from District C, Zone Chair Todd Dennison. Todd is a member of the Mobile Lions Club. He served on the Mobile Lions Club Board of Directors for 3 years, served as club president in 2017, 2018. He's currently in his second year as a zone chair, and he's currently serving on the Long Range Planning Committee. Todd, I'll toss the same question to you. What piece of advice could you offer to a club president?
My piece of advice for a club president is to take charge and lead, delegate and follow up, and enjoy the opportunity to lead your club.
Thank you, Todd. It is a pleasurable experience to be able to lead a club. There are many characteristics of a good Lions club. Several months ago, each district held a Build a Vision meeting. Attendees were asked to identify the characteristics and expectations of a good Lions club. These were the top responses. Linda, will you summarize these points for our audience, please?
Okay. Characteristics of a good Lions Club: providing and reporting hands-on service to the community. And as Lions, we serve by providing hands-on service activities to keep our club members involved and to involve the community in which we live. And I think I heard past Council Chair Ron Sebo say that the Lions provided service to over 270 million people last year. And that's why it's so important that clubs report their service activities. Want to report the number of people served, the number of volunteers who help, and the number of volunteer hours. To effectively tell our story, measure our impact, and grow membership, it's critical that all clubs report their service activities to my LCI through my Lions. Recruiting new members is another characteristic of a good Lions Club, and we all can recruit new members. Again, I heard that membership drives service and service drives membership. And I think that if you have a successful club, then you already know this. The Lions Club, as we all know, is a by invitation only club. So remember, Lions, you are a member today because someone asked you. So just ask. All it takes is asking someone. You never know if a person is interested or not if you do not ask. Providing personal growth and leadership opportunities to its members is another characteristic. The personal growth opportunities are provided through conferences such as the one that you're at today, our district cabinet meetings, district conventions, multiple district conventions, online webinars, and there's a wealth of information on the resources in my Lions. Participate in zone and district meetings. All club presidents and secretaries and members also are to participate in our zone and district meetings so that you can stay updated on what's going on in the district. Support state and district projects. And this is another one that as club members that we should do, and that is support our state and our district with projects so that we can help support whatever the cause may be. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda, for that. It's your pleasure.
Certainly. Thanks, Council Chair Bubba. Committees are another level at which work of the club gets performed. You can perform work at the member level. You perform work at the board level. Obviously, the president has a lot of work to do as well. Committees are another level to get those projects accomplished. And they should be scaled with respect to the size of your club. With a smaller club, everybody might be on the committee. There may be committees of one in certain clubs. In larger clubs, obviously the committees become more of a functioning entity. And some committees in even real large clubs can be standing committees that are reappointed every year. They may even show up in your governing documents as well. Your more important committees like membership or service committees may be examples of standing committees. In the Mobile Club, we run a very large 5K race called Tunnel Vision, and there's a standing committee that gets reappointed on a yearly basis, but they're in charge of assisting the vice president who's in charge of that particular service project. So there's an example of a specific committee that's dedicated to a particular project. In some clubs, you may have a public relations committee. Make sure that the club is being projected into the community and the local media in a positive manner. Of increasing importance could be a social media committee. And if you're fortunate enough to have some younger members in your club, they may be excellent prospects to serve on that committee, given that they have grown up with that format and have an intuitive understanding of how to use it. Other ideas for committees, you can have a Lions site committee, membership orientation that takes new members and processes them and make sure that they get a good start to their Lions career. I think one important element of the committee for the club is that it becomes a laboratory for developing leaders. It's a great way to take new members and plug them into your club and get them on a project and allow the club to evaluate future board members and future officers.
Thank you, Todd. You hit on a lot of important topics there. One that you spoke on was the lab for developing new leaders. And we'll talk about some of those resources in the third hour this morning. So thank you for your input there this morning on club presidents and the committees that he appoints. Communication is extremely tested during our times right now, particularly with the COVID virus. It's brought to light some different ways perhaps that we need to communicate and some of the problems in communicating. We've experienced some this morning already. No longer are we able to easily communicate face to face. We must socially distance ourselves or communicate through letters or email or Zoom or GoToMeeting like we're doing this morning. Nevertheless, communicating with our members is critical to knowing what's going on and to retaining our members. If they don't know what's going on, they're going to be lose interest, to be disinterested and go away. If we ignore our members, they will go away. It's critically important, especially now, that we communicate regularly through some media with our members. And it's not that hard. It just needs to be done. Linda, let me start with you and ask you to share with us some of your experiences noted here on the slide this morning. Perhaps some good experiences you've had in communication and maybe some potholes that we need to avoid.
Okay, newsletter to members, including financial reports and budgets. And as Council Chair Bubba just said, communicating with your club members is very important, and especially during this pandemic time, which is a way that we can stay connected to our clubs, since they're not meeting face to face, or some of them are not even meeting via Zoom. So with our newsletter, clubs can write newsletters to their members, and a newsletter does not have to be fancy. It just needs to be informative. You want to make it one that the members will look forward to receiving by including useful information and ideas. You can also keep club members up to date on current events, showcasing the talents of your individual members and record their achievements of the club. You want to include the financial report and the annual budget in your newsletter. Members like to know how much money is available, and they want to know how the money is being spent. And this is a good way to show how the club helps the community or improves its members' usefulness if the funds are being used correctly. So you can infect everyone with your enthusiasm. A club newsletter is only useful if people read it. So remember that. You want to be sure that you get good contact information from your members each year, because in order to send out a newsletter, if you send it through the mail, you're going to have a good working mailing address, as well as you will need a good working phone number. Spokesperson in the community, interviews and press releases and presentations. These are excellent ways of getting your message across. Clubs can designate a spokesperson who will represent their club at different functions in the community. This person could be responsible for handling newspaper releases and interviews, press conferences, and presentations to other clubs and other associations. Now, a press conference is a technique for special occasions when you really want to make a good impression. Interviews are great ways to get success stories, project and event promotions, and the history of Lions in your community. So Lions make presentations at other club functions and events in the community that may not be a Lion event or a Lion project. And they do this to promote events and activities, as well as recruiting new members. Thank you.
Linda, thank you for that. I appreciate that input. Judy, would you take the next two and give us your experience in those two bullets?
attend the district convention to celebrate your successes. This is really a fun time and a very informative learning time. Attending the district convention gives you oversight of everything that's going on across your district. You build friendships and you bond with people that can help you. You share success stories, as well as you've learned some pitfalls and things that maybe you have thought about trying, and you'll just be in communication with more people. It's a chance for you to share your ideas, what works for you. It's a way for you to celebrate what your club is doing and celebrate the successes of the clubs in your district. Congratulate them and learn what they're doing. Then you need to follow up and ensure that the club is reporting your activities to LCI and the membership activities. I guess follow up is one of the biggest downfalls. It's after an event, everybody is just on cloud 9 and everything is exciting. And then we just kind of forget about the reporting, but we need to report those activities to LCI, let them know what we're doing. And also other clubs can see through LCI and your local state newsletter what you're doing. And the membership activities, there's so many different things that you can share there. I know we've just gotten a lot of membership activities ideas from other clubs by staying informed and following up and just communicating. And that it all goes back to communicating. Communicate with what your club has done and read success stories of what other clubs have done.
That's good. Thank you, Judy, for that. There's an old saying in the military that soldiers do what you inspect and not what you expect. So, we're all adults and we're not always looking over each other's shoulder, but each club should have a membership chair and they should have a service chair. And the club president's duty and responsibility is to coordinate and communicate with those two chairs to make sure that they are actively recruiting members and that they're actively reporting their service. Thank you for that. Let's move on here to resources. Time is critical to each of us. It's important that we share our time wisely. So how do we best provide all the services we have at our disposal and get the biggest bang for our buck? Well, one way is to take advantage of resources that are already made available to us by Lions Club International. LCI has provided many printed and videoed resources that are readily available at the LCI website. Also, by going to Lions Club International/NAMI, you can find a wealth of information on how to grow and how to retain members. So I'll ask the three of you, starting with Judy. Will you introduce the printed resources, and then I'll ask Linda to discuss the line leaders available to assist the presidents. Judy and Todd, y'all take the first bullets up there, and I'll ask Linda to close out on the line leaders on standby to assist. Judy?
Thanks, Bubba. With regard to the first three bullets there, the club officer ebooks, the Learning Center, and the member satisfaction guide. So you can access those all through lionsclub.org. And when you get an opportunity, that's a great way to utilize a little bit of time, because every time I go on that website and just surf around on it, I'm always impressed by the wealth of resources that are available. We've highlighted there three of probably the most useful with respect to your duties as a club president. The first one, the club officer ebook, and there's one for each of the various officer positions within the club. The club president and the first vice president share an ebook, and in that resource, it's a good outline that provides the answer to the question, what do I do, or what am I responsible for as a club president? So if you're kind of wondering what it is that that is expected of you from a high level, from the international level, that's a place to go. And within that resource is an outline of the various duties and directions to further information for things that you might want to explore. The Learning Center is kind of the same thing, but on a bigger scale. And it's an interesting place to go. For example, there's resources in there for dispute resolution. That kind of caught my attention when I was visiting that site earlier this morning in preparation for this program. And that's something that a club president is going to encounter, unfortunately, from time to time in their role as the club leader. And you might be uncomfortable in dealing with conflict scenarios or dispute scenarios. And so the resource center, the learning center there is a place to provide some background information on how to deal with that. Finally, member satisfaction guides and surveys. That's extensive. I was surprised when I pulled that one up. And I would encourage you as a club president to have your secretary disseminate that from time to time within your club, so you can get feedback on what's working, what might not be working, or what to improve on. And so there's those first three resources are great aids to assist you in accomplishing your mission of club leadership.
Thank you, Todd, for that. What type of information should a club president expect to receive from a member satisfaction survey?
If you look at it, it's quite extensive. It's is the club meeting the expectations of the member in various subject areas? And so that with that kind of information, like for example, perhaps your meetings are not running on time, or maybe it's taking too much time, or maybe not enough time, or maybe members would like to see more variety in the speakers that come to the meetings. It's just a wealth of information that you can solicit from your membership. Plus, it gives the membership an opportunity to feel engaged in the club and be able to have input in the club. Everybody likes that. If you're going to put time, money, emotional capital into being a member of an organization, you want to feel like you've got a say-so, and so that is a venue to do that.
That's correct. And through that survey, the club president can sort of feel the pulse of the club and sort of understanding what the health of it is. Thank you, Todd, for that. Judy, would you take the last two, the standard club constitution, bylaws, and we've already discussed a little bit Robert's rules of orders. What happens if we don't have them?
Chaos. The standard rules, standard constitution and bylaw, LCI has an example on their site of the standard club. Of course, the higher you go in district and all the bylaws gets a little bit more intensive, but your club should have a standard club constitution and bylaws. It will give you rules to go by, and I mean, you know, you're not like a judge and you're going to slap somebody on the hands if they don't follow something, but it gives you a program of what is expected and how to conduct your meetings, and conduct them where you don't have people taking over and just things getting out of hand. It's a tool that I think every club should have, because you just kind of need something sometime in writing to keep you on track. And the larger your club is, certainly that's more important that you have these to keep people going all in the same direction and having the club function as it should and not be a time waster. That's the Constitution and bylaws. Constitutions, bylaws are things that you can change from time to time. Constitutions really take a little bit more action to change. I guess I was thinking standing rules. I'm sorry. The other thing is Robert's Rules of Order. There again, you can get a little book there from LCI. You can pick them up at any bookstore. And it is just a wealth of knowledge. The Robert's Rules of Order tells you who can vote, who can't vote, can tell you, it also has in there an example of minutes for secretaries to take so that they get all the information that they should. It has an outline for presidents and things like that, but Robert's Rules of Order keeps everybody kind of in the same tune, and there are sometimes disputes, and oftentimes the presiding officer, being the president, would need to step in and resolve those issues with Robert's Rules of Order. One thing that I see a lot of, and of course it doesn't seem to be a real big thing, but in telling you who and who cannot vote, Robert's Rules of Order says that a president does not have a vote except in the issue of a tie. So that's very important, because if you have members that especially kind of close vote there, and it's equal, then that's when a president votes. And all those things are explained. There's who can make a motion and who can second a motion, and then what every club should have a motion to do something and then a second. And if a lot of times it will die, a motion will die for lack of seconds. So
Right.
there's a wealth of information in a little bitty book, but it's very vital to your club. And of course, there's a small, condensed form that you can get that goes over the real bigger issues, I guess you say, for a smaller club. And that is the voting and the making motions and following through.
Okay.
Rules of Order keeps you in order.
Okay. Thank you for that, Past District Governor Judy. Linda, we've only got about 2 minutes, so I'd ask you to summarize briefly the line leaders that are available to assist the club presidents.
Okay, Council Chair Butler, I'm gonna try to do this briefly like you asked. I'm a detailed person, so the role of line leaders in supporting the clubs, the zone chair is very important, because this is the person that is I guess you said the middleman or the middlewoman, the liaison between the club and the district, and they provide communication to the club from the district. They can meet individually with the club or as a group in zone chair meetings to give guidance. So clubs, if you do not know who your zone chair or region chair is, please ask your district governor, because you want to stay connected with your zone chair, because they can be a very valuable resource to your club success. The district governor team, and this is your district governor, the vice district governor, district governors, the zone chairs, and your region chairs. Now, the district governor will ensure that one of the district officers or one of the vice district governors will visit each club in the district annually. Your district governor team is available. You just have to call them or let them know when you have activities going on or celebrations going on, because they can be there. They can also perform officer installations, new member inductions, charter night for new Lions clubs and for Leo clubs. So stay connected to your district governor team and share success stories and photos with them. The North American Membership Initiative. Now, this is what we call the NAMI or the NAMI. We say different things. The NAMI provides projects throughout the year for clubs to include leadership development, club marketing, and welcoming new members into the clubs. Your district government team will promote this in the clubs as they make that annual vision, or there may be other means that they will get information out to you about what's going on in NAMI. Now, this year, all 3 districts in Motor District 34 will participate in NAMI. NAMI will charter new clubs, and clubs will be asked to sponsor the new clubs and support the development of the club. The Global Action Team. The Global Action Team, and you see SMLXL. And when I saw that at first, I thought it was small, medium, and large, and extra large, but that's not what that stands for. It stands for service, leadership, and extra leadership, which is Lions Club International Foundation, we call LCIF. Each club should have Lions serving on each of these teams. The team brings the global service team, the global membership team, and the global leadership team together on the district level, the multiple district, and the club level. And these are brought together to support the clubs. The club's Global Action Team chair is the president of the club, which will lead and guide the club. And I think Council Chair Bubba did mention this a little bit earlier. Each club should have an elected membership chair, and this person will plan activities to encourage membership growth and to attract new members. Each club should have a service chair so that you can increase the percentage of hands-on service projects delivered by clubs focusing on our global causes, which are diabetes, childhood cancer, vision, hunger, and environment. Each club should have a leadership chair, and your club's vice president or the first vice president can serve as leadership chair to ensure that members develop the skills that they need to be effective leaders, to lead and to serve their community, such as making sure that the officers trained properly through officer training, and to encourage members to participate in club, district, and multiple district leadership trainings. Now, the Global Action Team support the clubs in the district, and they can make the most impact. Then we have our extra leadership, which is LCIF. Lions Club International Foundation is the official charitable foundation of Lions Club International. Lions, this is our foundation. LCIF provides grants during disasters in our communities, provided through club and district government support. LCIF does not receive club dues like our Lions clubs. So it is fully supported by the generosity of Lions like yourself and other supporters and partners that are worldwide. 100% of all the donations of LCI go directly towards humanitarian projects, such as vision, which we prevent. This is to prevent avoidable blindness, disaster relief. When we have tornadoes and hurricanes and floods, just to name a few other ways that you can give to help support LCIF is recognizing one of your deserving Lions with a Melvin Jones Fellow. Campaign 100, empowering service. You can give your individual monetary gifts and club donations to help make a difference in the lives of others. And each club should have an LCIF chairperson also to make sure that we are supporting our foundation, LCIF. Thank you.
Thank you, past Council Chair Linda. That's a lot of information in a brief time. For the past hour, we've been discussing and highlighting the responsibilities of a club president, the characteristics of good Lions clubs, committees appointing to assist the president to reach his goals, and some of the resources available to assist the president and membership in achieving successes. Past International Director Jerome, I feel like there are several questions from our listening audience that we could clarify. Do you have any that you care to share with us?
Council Chair Bingham, there is just a couple that we probably need to address. And early on in the discussion, someone had sent me a private message that says, our club sometimes struggles with trying to support all of the multiple district and international service projects, and doesn't seem that we have enough time to serve locally. Do you have any suggestion as to how our club can strike a balance between serving locally, supporting state projects, and supporting international projects?
Well, I don't know if you're directing that to me, but I will make one comment and then perhaps ask Todd to expand on it just briefly. Lions Club International has published a pamphlet that says your club, your way. They understand that we serve our communities. We don't serve the world. Each club doesn't. We do the part we can in the areas that we serve. So my advice to the person that sent that question was that you prioritize the service events and those things that are required or those things that are asked of higher levels. You have a budget to go by and you have only a certain number of members in your club. They can only do so much. They are hands-on, but it's your club and your way. Todd? Am I still here?
You are here, and
Okay.
There we go. I don't know how I got muted. Yeah, I would agree with that, Bubba. And I would say that as a piece of advice, if I were a club president providing leadership in that area, I would probably start at the local level if I had limited resources. And let's take care of the local stuff first, because that's where you're going to get your membership. That's where you're going to get your support, and then work your way up as you develop more resources and membership.
Very good. Thank you, Todd. Jerome?
Council Chair,
You have another question?
let me ask one more before we take about a 5-minute break and move toward the top of the hour. One Lion sent this comment and said that are tail twisters and songs and prayers and pledges required, or is that a formality that is carried over for the last 100 years in our association?
I'm not aware that it's required. I am aware that it's tradition. I'm aware that we are patriotic, and I personally believe that the pledge ought to be said at each meeting. The tail twister, although not an official position, I don't believe it is important that the club have a tail twister to create excitement in the club and to keep some enthusiasm in the club. And they have many ways of doing that. Judy mentioned a while ago about, you wore a red sock and you got fined, or you didn't wear a red sock and you got fined, whatever he comes up with. So they are traditional positions within the club and opportunities for the club to show their patriotism. I hope I've answered some of it.
Yes, sir. And I'll take the other few questions and respond directly to those that asked them. Thank you so very much. You and your panel have done a great job.
Thank you, PID Jerome. I'd like to thank our audience for tuning in today. This is an important seminar, and we trust that the information presented has been meaningful and will be of value as you go through your year as a line leader. I'd also like to thank our panelists, past Council Chair Linda Starr, past District Governor Judy Pritchett, and Zone Chair Todd Dennison. You've all been very beneficial and given a lot of opportunity and a lot of your knowledge today, and we certainly appreciate it. Your global leadership team stands by and ready to assist you in any way they can, so please don't hesitate to call on them.